You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
A real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We've got sports, we've got entertainment, we've got odd news to chat with you about on this week's episode. The perfect meal for your mind. Welcome to the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Before we get to all of those topics, we like to do a little personal bit to let you know what we've been up to this past week. So, Mikey, my friend, how are you doing? How is Costanzo country?
I'm doing swell. I got a chance to check out first something terrible, Mufasa on Disney Plus.
All right.
Well, it's been a weekend of extremes.
Get the bad stuff out.
Get the bad stuff out. So it's a weekend of extremes. So bad stuff out of the way first. Mufasa on Disney Plus. It is the prequel to The Lion King, where it's telling you how Mufasa becomes the Lion King.
Sure.
I didn't know that we needed a Mufasa backstory.
Why not? Everything's going to get a backstory.
But, you know, Disney felt that we needed one. And it's not animated. It's that weird live action thing with, like, the live action, the fake live action animals. You know what I mean? It was just bizarre, the whole thing. I thought it was awkwardly paced. I thought it was silly. I thought it was distracting, poorly written, poorly, like musically it was not great, which was shocking because Lin-Manuel Miranda did it, but it seemed like he phoned it in like via AI or something. It just...
Oh, no! We suck again!
It was completely... soulless, you know, to take every big beat and nostalgic memory of The Lion King and like feed it through Google Translate and ChatGPT, and you come out with Mufasa. It was devoid of life and soul.
Well, you better get used to it because that's probably how movies are going to get made soon.
That's what we have to look forward to.
Put everything in ChatGPT.
But luckily, in terms of the other extreme, I did get a chance to check out Blueprints on PlayStation 5. It's actually free if you have the second or third tier of PlayStation Plus. So if you have whatever that middle tier or the top tier is, go get it. It's free. Try it out. It's a really, really cool game. You know, I heard before going into it, like, oh, you're going to want to take notes. And I'm like, pshaw, I don't need to take notes. What is this? Like the Sega Genesis days? Well, today I've realized, oh, crap, I actually do need to take notes. So I have my phone. I'm, like, taking notes of what I'm seeing in each room.
Oh, no! We suck again!
I do. I'm, like, I'm not doing so hot in the game right now, just, like, in terms of making progress. But it is...
You know what would have come in handy?
What?
The Galaxy
What
S10.
What is
Woo!
this? Is this some kind of plug for Samsung? Get your...
Yeah.
How often do you use that pen?
I use it like once a week. And it's usually just to like
show somebody that you have a pen. You pull it out, you're like, I got one of these.
Yeah. All right, Mikey, continue. I'm going to take notes now.
All right, go ahead. You take notes.
Yes.
So let's see if this actually works for you.
Yes.
So, yeah, I found myself taking notes in the Blueprints, jotting down all the different things that were in each room because there's so many different layers to this game and so many different mysteries to peel back.
And what was the name of this game?
Blueprints.
Blue.
Like a king, a queen, and a prince. Yeah.
Oh, Prince. I thought you said Prince.
Well,
Shoot. How do I erase?
Don't ever be a spokesperson for Samsung. Like, oh crap! How do I erase?
Whoops. Continue.
So yeah. The game has been fantastic so far. That was all I really had on it because I'm not very far into the game. But I feel so weird. You're taking notes now. It wasn't something to take notes about. All right, so what did you come up with?
Hold on. Is there anything else you want to mention on this?
No, that's it. I'm more interested in the notes now.
Okay. So I have down Mike played Blueprints. Fantastic. Not that far in the game.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. There you go.
I don't know if you can see it on the screen. There you go on the video
you
feed.
can kind of see it on the video feed.
So there you go.
But the real question is, how do you erase?
Yeah, I got to figure that out. I forgot. I know there's an option for it. I just forgot.
So there you go.
But there you go.
But that's
The Samsung Ultra.
I can't. And you get on me for talking about Apple products. You did like a full-on advertisement for Samsung. We ain't getting any tasty Samsung advertising, money.
You
Come on.
didn't.
Oh, okay.
I did.
So what have you been up to other than playing with your pen?
Oh, that's what they're calling it now?
That's what they're calling it.
Oh, very good.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Yeah.
Playing with the pen over there. So, yeah.
Just don't dip the pen in the company ink.
No, don't do that.
So, yeah, other than that, no, seriously, though, it was a fun weekend. It was Rachel's birthday.
Yes, it was.
So we had a karaoke jam. Rachel loves to sing. I luckily did not have to sing because that would be bad.
Sing?
No, that would be bad.
Come on.
No, let the talented people sing. That's what I've learned.
You were just running the systems.
Yeah, and we it was because so our neighbor is kind enough. He loans us his He has a PA, like it's almost like a full blown PA.
You sent me a picture of it. It's like literally like the giant like speakers on the stands, you know.
Yeah, and we run YouTube through it as well. And he's got microphones just like these, a soundboard like this, and away we go for the night. And yeah, it was a nice karaoke jam. Everybody had fun. The people that needed to sing sung. That's what I'm happy about.
And you ran the tech side.
Right, I was the tech guy.
There you
So
go.
it all worked out.
You were stage crew.
Yeah, basically I was stage crew, yeah, because I definitely cannot sing. You do not want me singing at your karaoke jam.
Nonsense. You got lots of great jams.
No.
Happy birthday to Rachel.
Yes.
That's awesome. There's
Yeah.
another birthday.
Yeah, that's right. It's also
Happy birthday, Rich, this
Yeah.
week. As you listen to the show, Rich is aging up. As we speak, it's happening right now.
Thank you for that vote of confidence there. Rich is literally old, and he's getting
Yes.
older. There's nothing stopping it right now.
But
Thank you very much.
listeners know that.
Yeah.
But seriously, happy birthday though.
Thank
so
you.
this is
Thank
kind of
you.
like a week long birthday celebration between the two of you.
Yeah.
Just cake nonstop, right?
It really is. And it doesn't end because Saturday is my cousin's birthday.
Oh my gosh.
She's turning 40.
Ooh, so that's a big one too.
Yeah, so we're having a party for her on Saturday.
And then it's Easter.
And then it's Easter. That's Jesus.
And then well, that's really a rebirth, not a birth.
Yeah,
you know,
whatever you want to.
You want to be technical, I
Whatever
guess.
you want to label that as.
Yeah. So wow, you guys really pack it in.
Yeah, and then it's our anniversary.
So within 10 days, you have
Like
3 birthdays, a religious holiday, and an anniversary.
And a ghost release party next week when the album comes out.
Which might be the most important event of the week, right?
So, yeah, the next 2 weeks are just...
and the NFL
booked.
draft.
Oh, my God, and the draft. There's so many... I just came off of the Masters.
And so in 2 weeks' time,
There's so much.
you've crammed literally an entire year's worth of events into like 14 days. That's
Yes.
just efficient, really.
Yeah, April is very busy for me.
Man, that's rough.
Yes. But you know what? That's a good tease, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that is something I do want to talk about. So why don't we jump right into the first batch of topics? It is time for the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
That's right. Sports coming at you in your face. And yes, I want to talk about the Masters. What a fantastic Masters we had. In terms of drama and what you want to see at a golf tournament, this was primo. This was what you wanted to see. This whole weekend was just full of ups and downs. people hitting great shots, then people hitting terrible shots, people rising up the leaderboard, people falling down the leaderboard. This was not static at all. This was a living, breathing entity, and every day just seemed like it changed. It gave you so much action. I know you laugh at me, but this was one of the most exciting Masters that I can remember in quite some time.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, from what I've heard from people around is that it was very exciting. I wouldn't know. I didn't watch it. But it seems like you enjoyed it. My parents were watching a little bit of it.
Frank got in on the action.
They were enjoying it. My aunt and uncle were enjoying it. It seems like this was, as far as Masters goes, from what I can tell, a very thrilling one.
Yes. So day one started off with Justin Rose having a fantastic round. He took off out of the gates running. McIlroy came back on Friday with a pretty decent round. He started to climb up the leaderboard. Then Saturday was Bryson DeChambeau, the bodybuilder golfer. He had a fantastic round on Saturday. And then going into Sunday, the leaderboard ended up shaking out that Rory was 2 strokes ahead as the leader, with DeChambeau behind him in second place, 2 strokes behind him. And then Justin Rose was somewhere further down the pack. And McIlroy and DeChambeau got paired together, being the 1 and 2 combo on Sunday. And you're just like, oh my God, Rory just maintained the lead. And what does he do in the first hole? Double bogey, gave up the lead. And on the second hole, he pars and DeChambeau birdies. DeChambeau took the outright lead on the second hole on Sunday. And you're just like, oh my God, is Rory already choking this?
He started ahead, now playing from behind.
Yep. But then DeChambeau started to hit some crazy shots on Sunday that didn't seem to pan out. He starts tumbling down the leaderboard, and Rory starts pulling ahead. And by the turn, I think it was something like he had a 4-stroke lead with 7 holes to go. And you're like, oh my God, Rory's in the driver's seat. This is it. He's gonna do it. This is it. It's gonna be now or never.
Right.
If he doesn't win this, he's not winning the Masters ever. This is it. And then what happens? He starts giving up strokes, including a huge double bogey on the 14th that he shoots himself in the foot.
That's really late into the round as well.
Yes. And then what do you see? Justin Rose starts coming back up the... You're just like, oh my God, no, it's happening. No, come on, Rory, pull yourself together. Come on. And it was just back and forth, back and forth. Then Rory is tied with Justin Rose as they're finishing up the round. Rory on the 17th makes a birdie to go 1 stroke ahead. So all he has to do on the 18th hole is par the 18th. Just do what you're required to do.
Just be average.
Yep. And what does he do? He 2-putts a big missed opportunity on the 18th, falls back a stroke, and it's a tie when he finishes his round on Sunday. What does that mean? That means they had to go to sudden death between Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose. And you're just like, oh my God, Rory, you were literally at like 95% chance to win this thing when you had that lead. Oh my! And you're just thinking, oh my God, Rory, this is gonna kill him. This is going to kill his career. Like seriously,
the whole thing.
Seriously. Look, Jordan Spieth. Have we heard from him since he collapsed when he could have won back-to-back majors?
That's true.
When he was up 4 strokes with 5 holes to go? Like, this really is something that would destroy your career. And you're just like, oh, my God, no, I can't watch a train wreck. Please, Rory, somehow pull this out. And Rory somehow on the playoff sudden death hole hits a magnificent shot, his second shot on a par 4 that lands him within a reasonable distance to putt for a birdie, and he did it. Justin Rose could only pull off par, and Rory McIlroy wins in the sudden death playoff hole and pulls off his first win at Augusta and finally fulfills the career Grand Slam, only the 6th golfer in
Wow.
PGA history to pull it off. You've made fun of him that, like, we've always said, like, oh, he's supposed to be the next Tiger Woods. Well,
He was at one point.
guess what? He can now officially put himself in that pantheon with the official career Grand Slam because only six golfers have pulled it off, and now he is one of them.
I mean, he's one of the best golfers of all time now.
Yes, and
Right?
thank God he pulled this off. If he didn't pull this off, I think this would have been it. Like, just especially knowing he was up that much.
Yeah.
With so few holes remaining, that would kill your confidence. That would have been brutal.
He almost let it all fall apart, but he hung in there by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. An amusing story that Rory McIlroy shared was when he bogeyed on 18 on the last hole, and then they had to grab their stuff and they had to go back up and do the hole again because the sudden death hole is the last hole again. You have to replay you have to play the same hole over again. When he was walking back, his caddy apparently told him, hey, if you had told us back on Wednesday night, before they start the tournament on Thursday, if you told us on Wednesday night that this would end up being a sudden death playoff for the Masters green jacket, I think we would have taken it. And I think that was a good attitude. I think that probably helped them.
It probably took the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah.
That kind of knowledge of like, this is better than anything we probably expected.
Yeah.
Even
though you probably should have won it outright.
Right.
If you had told us at the start of everything that this is where we would have ended up Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think, or Eastern Daylight Time, I think that would have taken it then.
Yeah.
I think it was a great reset for him. So kudos to that caddy for putting everything in the perspective. But Rory just looks so thrilled to finally pull it off. This is such a relief. The monkey is off of his back. His first major win in 10 years.
10 plus years, yeah.
So he is, you don't have to do the whole, I don't believe you or something, or, when it comes to Rory McIlroy. He now is back on top of the golf world. And like we said, completing the career Grand Slam is monumental. That puts you in a new pantheon that only few golfers get to go to. So
yeah, so is he just officially like top 10 all time now, discussion wise?
I mean, he's
one of only 6 to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you at least can make an argument now for him being up there.
Yeah.
And look, his career's still not over.
Yeah, I mean, like, how old is he? He's probably still got some time left, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, look.
Oh, he's only 35.
Yeah, and Phil Mickelson won the U.S. Open, or won the, he won, I forget what it was now, PGA Championship. He won it at 50. So that's like the baseline now. You can probably go until 50.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's a full 14 years younger than Tiger Woods, the guy he was supposed to replace. So
yeah, so, the Rory can still do some more. He can still earn some more career accolades to his name. But for right now, he must be on cloud 9 knowing that the problem, the drama has been settled. He now officially has his green jacket with Augusta. He will always be welcomed now at Augusta, and he will officially etch his name into golf history as the 6th golfer ever to complete the career Grand Slam. That really is a big deal. I mean, Arnold Palmer didn't do it.
Wow.
He never had the PGA Championship.
He's got a whole drink named after him.
Yeah. So, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
And for us viewers, for us fans of the golf world, it was spectacular. It was exactly what you wanted on Masters Sunday. So much drama, the highs, lows. It was so bizarre. It was like you would see like these fantastic shots, and then you would see horrible shots. You're like, oh my God, I could hit a better shot than that. What are you thinking?
It kept you on the edge of your seat.
Yes.
And it seemed like this is just a casual observer's perspective, but it seems like it was just really good golf all around. I'm just going through the leaderboard. I mean, tons of people were shooting under par. It seems like everybody was just playing really, really.
It was a very aggressive.
Yeah, high quality golf too.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive playthrough at Augusta's this year. And of course, just that's another thing too. Just being, seeing everything at Augusta, that also is like legacy on its own. That this is the same course that legends have played, that we all have, memories on, that have seen past Masters as well. It really is the Super Bowl of the golf world.
For a golf fan perspective, is watching somebody as storied as Rory McIlroy win his career Grand Slam at Augusta, is that like an extra cherry on top?
Yes.
Does that make it just like that extra little bit special?
Yes. It is that was his final one. That was the one he needed to get to complete.
It's storybook almost.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I feel like Rory McIlroy is a name that's been around for, a good bit now, and I feel like people legitimately like the guy. He seems like somebody, like a popular golfer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just everything kind of like clicking to make it kind of like a picture perfect Masters.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons I've been hearing a lot of, sports talk about this, Rory just seems like the kind of guy that, for him being a golfer, he is very, like, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. You can tell when something is bothering him. You can tell him when something is surprising him or something or to tell you what, there was a shot where he had his driver shot had went into the pine needles, and he was like directly behind a tree. It was bad positioning, bad lie, bad tree, and a lot of people were probably expecting him to just punch it out just to get out of the pine needles. And instead, he decided to go for it. He decided to see if he could try and launch it over the trees and get it to the green. And he took his iron and he took a whack at this shot, and it goes up, and it definitely hits the tree. I remember seeing that on the replay. It hits the tree, but I guess just the force of him and I guess where it hit on the branch, it still propelled through it. And it somehow went through and then bounced on the green, boom, boom, and ended up like 10 feet from the hole. And you could tell when he was walking down, he had this like just ear-to-ear grin, like, oh my God, I can't believe I got away with that one. I shouldn't have got away with that one. And people like that. People are like, that's me golfing, That's like, let me see what I can do here.
let me just whack the thing.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Right, exactly.
Let's see what happens. And I think there's a certain element of authenticity with Rory that people love. So, this all in all, this was a great Masters and a great victory for a great champion, Rory McIlroy, winning the Masters. Finally, it has happened, and now he has placed himself in a position to put him down as one of the best golfers, at least of this era. He has the career Grand Slam now.
I mean, one of 6 guys to do it. That's pretty elite company.
Yes. All right. So we are very happy after that exciting Masters win. If you're high on golf like I am and some other fans of the golf world as well, the next major is the PGA Championship. That will be in May 15th to the 18th. So that will be the second major of the year to keep an eye on and see who else is going to add a major victory to their tool belt. I'm wondering who it will be coming out of the wake of this crazy Masters. It might be Rory again. He's on a hot streak now between the Players' Championship win at St. Patty's Day that we covered.
Yep.
Then to the Masters. Maybe he just keeps the ball rolling. Why not? It could be him.
You figure he'll be the favorite coming into it, probably.
Yep. It could be Scotty Scheffler. He did not do bad.
He was close.
He was he was trying to fight up the leaderboard. I think he kind of started off too slow in the week, but he was trying to fight his way up. I think he finished in the top 10 if I remember correctly. I'd have to look that up again. But he was trying to contend and trying to fight up his way up on Sunday on the Masters.
Scotty Scheffler was 4.
Fourth?
4, yeah.
There you go. So yeah.
He was close.
Yeah. So he's still playing great golf. It might be him at the PGA Championship as well. Or it could be DeChambeau. DeChambeau just only had one bad day on Sunday. Maybe if he could string together 4 concrete rounds, maybe it could be him. So definitely exciting golfers to keep an eye out for and see where it goes from May the 15th to the 18th with the PGA Championship as the next major. Keep your eye on that one. All right. I think I've done enough talk that's not football. I know Mike is like dying inside.
I had to give you your space to talk about golf. It was a major sporting event,
and it was an exciting one. I know you kind of poo-poo it. You're like, how can it be that exciting?
No,
but this one was.
It got some decent coverage outside the golf world. I heard about the sudden death thing. It's apparently it doesn't happen that often in golf.
Well, it's you think after 72 holes, you think everyone would be able to separate themselves,
right? Somebody could take a definitive lead, but not this time.
Yeah. So it was very exciting. Dare I say it might be made into a movie one day? I could see a script coming out of this.
Maybe.
Never know.
Never know.
All right, but let's get to the news that Mike wants to talk about. Let's get to some nice football news.
It's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football.
Well, the draft is coming up pretty quickly, and we're going to have full coverage of that next week, especially with what the Eagles are going to do with the last pick of the first round. So we'll have our predictions next week. But there was a somewhat major bombshell news, in my opinion, that hit the news feed that I did a double take. I was like, where did this come from? But it has been confirmed that the Saints quarterback, Derek Carr, reportedly has a serious injury to his throwing shoulder. So much so, he might be missing 2025 season games. You do not want to hear that.
Nope. Before
the draft. This is also relatively late in the offseason for something like this. I mean, does he have surgery? I mean, I don't even know what you do. How do you even work a timetable around this? This is huge.
Especially to the throwing shoulder as well. This isn't something that he could potentially play through or rehab quickly from. He's a quarterback. You can't mess around with the throwing shoulder. That's the most important thing, right? Yep. What complicates this is, like you said, in terms of the draft, Saints have a top 10 pick, right? This kind of changes how they're looking at the draft and how they could possibly approach it because, you don't think quarterback is on their radar immediately, but when you look at the fact that Derek Carr is, I think he's 35.
If Derek Carr's not playing...
He's got a major injury. He might not be playing.
If Derek Carr's not playing, all of a sudden quarterback is a huge need.
Yeah, so the question is, what do the Saints do at 9? This could completely reshuffle the top 10. Do they trade up to try and get a quarterback that some teams are souring on? Do they trade back and collect more picks and see if they can pick up an option on day 2? What do you think? Like, what do the Saints do here? Or could they potentially find help from within existing free agents?
I'll tell you what, if the Browns were a smart organization, I would be saying to the world, I am drafting Shedeur Sanders right now. If I'm the Browns, I would be putting out all this smoke screen. I would be putting out, we love Sanders. Who cares that he pumps the ball before he throws it or whatever? We're gonna teach him out of that. It'll be fine. He's gonna be a wonderful player for us. He's gonna be electric in Cleveland. I would sell the crap that I'm taking Shedeur Sanders, and then like a couple days before the draft, be like, so you need a quarterback?
Yeah.
Huh?
A little bit of a smoke screen there. Yeah.
Because to me, this sounds like the Saints are now going to be desperate for a quarterback. Their backup quarterback is Spencer Rattler. Did you know that? Did anybody know who Spencer Rattler is?
I don't know who that is at all.
He was a 5th-round draft pick. Are you going to just run?
I mean, Tom
blindly?
Brady was a 6th-round draft pick, people always say.
Oh, my God. Get out of here.
Brock Purdy was a 7th round. Yeah. No, I know.
Those are exceptions to the rule. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
You don't want to roll out there with a 5th-rounder as your leading option from week 1.
No.
That's typically not a good strategy.
Spencer Rattler cannot be the week 1 game starter. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a quality guy and all that stuff.
Especially in,
but he is not. He should not be your game one starter.
Especially when you have to look at it from the context of the state of the division that these teams are playing in. The Saints have a chance to make something happen in the NFC South. The Panthers are. There's some building blocks there, but they're not setting the world on fire. The Falcons are kind of just...
The Falcons are still paying $60 million to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they don't really know what they're doing. The Buccaneers are always in the thick of it, but they always seem to fall apart as well. So I think the Saints might have a chance to do something there, but not if they sit on their hands and don't make any kind of positive moves here. They have a top 10 pick. When you go through the top 10 as of right now for the draft order, not a lot of quarterback-needy teams. Tennessee, obviously, going quarterback number 1 overall. Browns should go quarterback number 2.
Yeah,
but the Browns are going to Browns. They might not make the obvious pick. They might get cute and funny with it. New York Giants, they have like 3 different guys who could possibly start for them right now. So I don't know what they're doing.
I think
they just have a whole collection of bridge quarterbacks.
I think them signing Russell Wilson was their sign that they're gonna just
they're punting on the season
in terms of quarterback.
Yeah,
they don't need another quarterback because it's Wilson, Jameis Winston, and then Tommy Cutlets. Their quarterback lineup is pretty much set.
Right, exactly. Wilson, I think, is he on a 1 or 2 year deal?
1 year, I think.
And then I think Winston's on a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
So they have a quote-unquote solution in place. Patriots, Jags, Raiders, they're not looking for quarterbacks right now. The Jets.
Raiders. Who's their quarterback?
Didn't they just... Who do they have? They have somebody, don't they?
Oh, wait, Geno Smith. That's right. I totally forgot about the whole Seattle relocation. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. They don't need a quarterback.
Who did the Jets have, though? They just
That's
picked
right.
up...
The Las Vegas should now be called the Las Vegas Seahawks Part 2.
Right.
Like, that was so weird. They drafted the old They traded for the quarterback and then got the old head coach. Has that ever happened before? I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. That's a very obscure thing. Not that I can think of.
Right? Like, that's just weird.
Yeah. They're just trying to replicate what Seattle had. They're like, let's just copy what they did.
Yeah.
Bring
Control
it here.
C, Control V.
Right, exactly.
What's his name? Davis? He was like, I just learned this keyboard shortcut. Did you know this?
Al Davis? No, it's his son now.
Yeah, it's his son. Al Davis was the original.
The original. I don't remember what the son's name is, but they're both...
Mark Davis.
Yeah, but he's kooky too.
He ran around. I figured out how to copy and paste.
I learned this newfangled computer trick. I can make anything move from one spot to another spot.
Yeah, take a look. Geno Smith's coming here.
But the point is, though, that the Saints really could take a quarterback if they want to. Because between 2 and 9, where they're sitting right now, I don't think anybody is very quarterback needy. So if the Browns pass on a quarterback, they might not need to move at all.
Well, that's why I'm saying the Browns should at least make it seem like they're going to take Sanders.
I think it's already out that they're not going to.
They should be like, they should make a complete PR stunt. Oh, we love Sanders. Let's take him out to dinner. Let's show him Cleveland. Like, do the whole 9 yards and then surprise everybody and take an offensive lineman. Because the Browns will never do that. The smart play would be to act like you're going to draft Sanders and then trade down with the Saints and accumulate some serious draft capital that you can use to rebuild in the wake of Deshaun Watson's debacle.
Yeah, I think for the Browns, they either take the obvious...
But they're not going to because
they're
they're the Browns. The Browns are going to Brown.
You either take... No, I think the Browns have to trade down. They're in such a bad cap situation with Deshaun Watson. They need as many draft picks as they can. There really shouldn't be any other option besides trading down. They should have...
Or best
player available.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're going to do.
But they don't want best player available because they don't want Shadir Sanders.
No, they want Abdul. They want the pass rusher from Penn State.
But they already have Myles Garrett.
You put them opposite of them.
Okay, I get that, but how are you going to score points?
Here comes Kenny Pickett. Super Bowl winning Kenny Pickett.
But wait, don't they also have Joe Flacco though?
Yes. Here we go.
Man,
Elite Joe.
I hate the Browns so much.
Come on, Joe.
I mean, who
What are
knows?
points?
Who knows?
What? This is Cleveland. We don't score points.
Look, who knows? Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, they might be just the guys that Cleveland needs.
We win games by like 14-10. That's our score. 13-10 final score.
What was it? Just a year or two ago, they had like the most phenomenal defense.
Yeah.
So if they just stay average on offense, they might be able to do something. But anyway, yeah. So the Saints, this really does change things for that top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make a move to try and move up a little bit, but they might not need to. They could just hang tight and still get their guy. Like, it seems like Shadir Sanders is going to fall.
Well, here's something else too. If he falls further,
If they want him.
Well, here's something else too. If he falls like past like the 5th overall pick, does anybody else try and jump up and get him? Maybe like the Steelers. Maybe like somebody, like a team that actually needs another team that needs a quarterback.
The Steelers would have to jump so high though, from 21. They're not going to make that jump. Especially not for a quarterback. The Steelers? Mike Tomlin?
Probably not Tomlin.
Trading up double-digit spots for a quarterback? Maybe for like a defensive tackle?
Yeah.
Because the Steelers are... there's some franchises that are so tunnel visioned, they're like, no, we only do the one thing that we do. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going through the draft order, and it seems like, not many teams out there are actively looking.
I think a thing to remember, though, is... just because they're picking 9, that doesn't mean a team from 3 to 8 isn't susceptible of trading up to swipe them before the Saints do.
I don't think anybody's going to take a quarterback before the Saints. Maybe the Jets.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember who's quarterback there right
Justin
now.
Fields. They signed Justin Fields.
You don't think they want to go 1 year with Justin Fields to see what they got? You think they're going to draft a quarterback immediately upon signing?
Maybe Fields is only a bridge quarterback. Yeah, could
maybe.
be.
Okay, so the Jets are really the only threat for the Saints. So at the very least, the Saints need to jump to 6.
Or there could be a team that doesn't like their quarterback right now. You don't know.
Could be the Jags.
That's Trevor Lawrence. He's
because
on shaky ground.
I've heard they're not too fond of him right now in Jacksonville.
And they just lost Doug Peterson. They fired him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a new you don't know.
Yeah. It seems like Trevor Lawrence should be the guy, but new coach, new regime.
You have to be careful with the logic that
just because they have a quarterback doesn't mean they're happy with them.
Right. And all because the Saints are at 8, that doesn't mean that if the Browns pass on Sanders, he's going to be available at 8.
Yeah.
Somebody else, could.
But there's a lot of talk about how teams don't like him.
Yeah. They don't like the pump. Apparently he pumps the ball before he throws.
It's so silly.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently that's a thing, though. Not good. Don't do that. Don't pump the ball.
Don't pump the ball, and don't deflate it either. Don't pump it. Don't deflate it.
How about this for a theory?
Yeah.
Saints, especially with new head coach, the guy we had. I just blanked on his name.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So brand new regime.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance the Saints maybe just outright tank 2025 and then go for Arch Manning in 2026?
There's a possibility of doing that. The Saints have a bad cap situation.
Yeah, they already have a bad cap. Yeah.
And I know we talked a little bit about it briefly when Kellen Moore was hired. We mentioned how it's almost unfair, the situation he's going into, unless the Saints front office says, like, hey, we know the cap sucks, so we're going to let you have, like, a year or two of losing seasons. So that might not be that impossible,
Yeah. So
No, I mean,
I think that's a possibility as well.
They would have to be really bad to intentionally tank, especially with teams like the Browns still browsing around. The Jets out there, like, there's going to be a lot of competition for the worst team in the league next year. So they'd have to be really, really bad. I think the division is just too weak for them to be that bad, unfortunately.
All right. Well, there you go. We're going to find out what the Saints do because that is somewhat bombshell news to have just a week and a half before the draft. And sorry if you're from New Orleans or you're a Saints fan, but that doesn't sound like 2025 is very promising for you as a fan.
No.
So sorry about that, but that's the way.
That's how it happens.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. And next week we will give you our full predictions and analysis for the draft on next week's episode. But for right now, we've talked too much. We got to take a little bit of a break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break with the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we return. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your hands off there.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
So I guess get him in the car.
One cup, look. They even broke.
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. You know what? I'm just going to jump right into the next segment because in that segment, there's a sub-segment that is somewhat new. We're going to debut, so I am not going to hold us hostage. Let us get to the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You're the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right. Technically an entertainment entree, but you know, I guess it's kind of entertainment. You're gonna see how it's sort of entertainment. I want to debut a brand new segment here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Something that I've noticed that's been happening a lot lately. I am calling this the 5% Frenzy with Rich Liebig. you go. It's time for Frenzy.
Did you just push all the scream sound effects?
Just about, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've just been noticing a little thing that's been happening. There are things that I think have been viewed as being ridiculous and things that we are like, that's not going to happen. But we can't rule it out 100%, right?
Right. That's true.
It is weird. And like the longer that it doesn't get immediately wiped out 100%, the more it's like staying active in my brain. And I'm like, could this be actually happening? Is that like does this phenomenon happen to you?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's I like to say it's a non-zero chance. There's a very slim margin that this crazy thing could still happen.
But like the fact that it lingers is like, it's almost like
it makes you believe that the improbable is going to be probable.
Yes, it's so unsettling that I feel like the chances of it happening actually increase the longer it stays active.
I feel like there's some kind of like gambler's fallacy at play here.
Maybe.
Oh, black hasn't come up in forever. It's due to come up right now.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I get what you're saying, though. It's a very uneasy feeling. So you got to let it out.
So, yes, I'm calling
this... You got
this...
a frenzy about it.
I'm calling this the 5% frenzy. My first example with this is sports, so just bear with me. I know I should have put this in the sports sampler, but you'll see this is all it's all gonna relate. So my first phenomenon with the 5% frenzy feeling is Aaron Rodgers, all right? We have been talking about Aaron Rodgers for so long this offseason. Everybody has been wondering, where is he going to end up? And it seems that everything is pointing him to the Steelers. It seems like they need a quarterback. Rodgers is, he needs like a 1-year deal to finish out his career. The Steelers don't have anybody. Rodgers actually visited Pittsburgh this offseason. So it seems like that's going to be a done deal, but he has not signed a contract with them yet.
Right.
Meanwhile, we also heard rumors that Rodgers was hoping that maybe he'd go to the Vikings if the Vikings were not 100% sold on J.J. McCarthy, and it could be. He didn't play a single snap last year. He got hurt.
Yeah.
And now we've been hearing a report from Colin Cowherd in which he says that Aaron Rodgers is intentionally delaying his signing with the Steelers just to see if the Vikings are having second thoughts or if the 49ers deal with Brock Purdy falls through because they need to agree on an extension soon with him. And this is just like, it's just like a little scratch. It's something that
in the back of your head where it's like, yeah.
Logically thinking this is probably not happening. But the fact that Rodgers has not officially signed with the Steelers and the fact that I officially cannot rule this out 100% bothers me so much. It's this little gnawing 5% that is like, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I still could do it.
You just want to put it to bed.
Yes.
You just want to know one way or another.
Stop it.
If it's going to happen.
Please. And I can't. So this is the lunacy that is driving this new segment, 5% frenzy. I can't stand this. It's like I want this to officially be ruled out, and I can't.
Yeah.
So that's my primary example for the reasoning behind this segment, if you will.
Okay.
But now here's where I want to put it in the entertainment entree because I had another instance of this.
You're so frenzied.
It's exhausting. So
it's tough being rich, man.
So another instance, and this is where it falls under the entertainment entree, and this is where I want to get your opinion on this. It has to do with one of my favorite film franchises, 007. Pierce Brosnan. He is right now promoting the new series Mobland, and he goes on all these talk shows, late night shows, morning shows, and everything, and people, of course, asked him about Bond because Amazon is going through this whole transitory thing with now having complete ownership of the Bond franchise. And he was asked on multiple shows, would you come back to play Bond or do something in the Bond franchise? And Pierce Brosnan, you you crafty son of a bitch. He has said on multiple shows that, quote, he could play an older Bond in a pinch if Amazon called him. And he has said this multiple times. He did it on UK shows. He did it on US shows. So I'm like, what? He's 71 years old, I think, if I remember correctly.
I just looked it up because I was curious. He is, in fact, 71 years old.
He can't do a full Bond. He can't be like...
Why not?
No, he's 71.
Harrison Ford continues to play Indiana Jones and Han Solo every other year.
Well, Han Solo, he's dead. And Indiana Jones, he was practically dead.
Who says that James Bond can't be a ghost? Or that he could be a ghost of James Bond?
But the fact, again, that I can't rule this out is bothering me so much.
I think it actually goes beyond 5%. I think that the likelihood of this is actually more than that, because I guess the itch in the back of my head is wondering, is this kind of like a soft test to gauge reception of this as a possibility? Like, go do this press tour for who, for what? What are you promoting? Nothing. You're Pierce Brosnan.
Mobland. It's Mobland, Mike.
I don't know what Mobland is.
It's the new TV show. See? Mobland.
But anyway, it's just so odd that it keeps getting asked and he keeps responding in the affirmative. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I would do it. I'd like to do it. Part of me thinks that it's almost like him and Amazon putting out feelers. Like, would people be interested? And the more people talk about it, the more Amazon is taking notes, and they're like, people don't hate the idea. And then you factor in...
We know Rich Liebig has this 5% craze. Let's egg him on.
They're following you specifically.
Yes.
Right? But then you also have to think about how Amazon themselves needs to somehow reboot Bond. They need to move away from the Daniel Craig era, right? Figure out a new path forward. Figure out a new path forward without the Broccoli family controlling creative. And a great way to do that, taking a page book out of Lucasfilm and Disney, bring back all the old stars, right?
Yes, but as the main role, even Han Solo.
So that part could be a smokescreen. It could be him in another role. Maybe he plays what's his face, the gadget guy, or maybe he plays some other tertiary character. Yeah, M, like a nod to it. Or maybe he's a flashback sequence to the 007 before the current 007, because it's kind of like a title. It's not a person, right?
Well,
the lore is fuzzy there.
Right. The Amazon could just...
But they could do that.
They could make up their own thing, yeah.
They could do a flashback with Pierce Brosnan. I remember my mentor. He told me when the chips are down, squiggly lines, and there's Pierce Brosnan. The fans go crazy. Oh, my God, I remember him from my childhood.
I remember!
Take my money, Amazon! I could totally see that happening because it's just bad enough.
I remember!
It's just bad enough that ChatGPT could have come up with it. So for me, it's not 5%. It's almost like 10%. I know. I made it seem like it was going to be a larger percent, but I think there's a potential kernel there.
Look. All right, I'll say this: if he comes back to act and it's not Bond, I think that's fine. Like if they make him like a trainer or something.
But why couldn't he be Bond?
I mean,
how old were all the previous Bonds? How old was Sean Connery when he did Bond?
Well, he had the Never Say Never Again unofficial Bond film. How do you want to view that?
Well, how old was he when he did that?
I don't know, but that puts a wrinkle in your answer.
All right, let me figure this out.
Because technically he did that. That would probably be the oldest he was doing Bond. So I don't know. Are you going to go with non-Eon?
I just want the oldest he's been as James Bond, period.
Well, then you're looking at Never Say Never Again.
Never Say Never Again was 83.
Yeah.
Right?
1983. So how old was Sean Connery? I don't know the year when he was born.
He was born in 1930.
So that's 53.
Wow. So he was only 50-some. So Pierce...
How about Roger Moore? Roger Moore is probably older.
Let me check Roger Moore.
Because he didn't look too good in, what was it? A View to a Kill.
Okay,
That was his last movie.
Roger Moore was born in 27. And when was his last Bond movie?
A View to a Kill. 27.
85. So it's 27 for that's almost
58.
60. Almost 60.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan is 71. He would be the oldest Bond.
Yeah. If he's outright playing Bond, I don't think that works.
But does James Bond need to be a young guy?
I think he needs to
What about the salt and pepper, suave, kind of like...
I think he needs to be able to withstand
stunts?
gun. Yeah, it's the stunts are going to kill him.
Why not do more espionage than thriller? Like, what's wrong with a slow burn political espionage thriller instead of just an action adventure? I'm going to jump a car over an airplane and shoot the missile out of Pussy Galore's, whatever.
Whoa.
I don't know.
What?
That's a
I know some
character.
women who could hide a machine gun in there.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Shooting what?
I don't know.
I know some women who could hide a machine gun in there.
Look, the movies are absurd. The movies trend towards the Mission Impossible end of the spectrum of action movies. Kind of, they get a little dumb sometimes.
Yeah.
So why can't they pivot in the other direction?
I mean, I guess they could, but I don't know. I think you need some stunts. You need some action. I don't think you can do. I don't think you can't do like. I think you're imagining like a serious British drama, like
not?
Like a Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy or something like that.
Why not?
Because that's not traditionally Bond. There's got to be some sort of gunfight. There's got to be some sort of.
You CGI it. Get some stunt doubles.
Do you really want to turn this into
de-age him.
Dial of Destiny?
Sure,
crap?
de-age him. Get some CGI in there. Get some AI in there.
My final verdict is I would like it if this is somewhat serious. I think it would be great if Pierce Brosnan plays some sort of like trainer role. Like he is some sort of teacher with MI6. He's teaching the prospective 00 candidates or something. I could see that.
I think that this 5% thing is way more than 5%. I think that Pierce Brosnan is absolutely going to be involved in James Bond somehow going forward.
Yeah, right, that's fine. But don't have him actually be I'm sorry, him as actually James Bond.
What about him a spin-off? Like a James Bond series, like James Bond after the Bond.
After the Bond?
Like after he retires, I don't know.
James Bond, the golden years.
Yeah, the golden years. 0014. I don't know.
I don't know. But it is weird. It is weird that I can't rule this out. So again, this takes place on the 5% frenzy that it's nudging at me in the back of my head that this could happen. There could be something there. But as of right now, no definitive word has been mentioned from Amazon, so we will wait and see. So there you go. That is my new segment, 5% Frenzy. I hope this doesn't continue. I feel like I've been seeing this trend happening a lot this year. I don't know. It bothers me.
Well, if it does continue, we got a whole new segment to bring to the people.
Yeah, I don't know if I want this to continue, but let me know if there's other phenomena. Have you experienced this phenomenon where like you can't rule out a ridiculous proposition completely and it bothers you?
It's a non-zero chance.
It bothers me. Does it bother anybody else? Let me know. Leave a comment. I'm just curious. I don't know if anybody else has this phenomenon. So we'll see. All right. I've taken up too much time. Let's get to the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for with this upcoming weekend with new movie, TV, and video game properties with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got?
Well, funny you bring up Pierce Brosnan and aged-out actors because this one thing in entertainment, kind of in the same vein, in video games, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle finally comes to PlayStation 5 this week. And yes, it does feature the likeness of Harrison Ford because that's Indiana Jones and what he looks like, but a young one. But the former Xbox exclusive comes to PlayStation 5 after just 4 months as an Xbox exclusive. but the game is a first-person action-adventure game. It got rave reviews when it originally released in December. Critics praised the story, the combat, the puzzles, and this is really the first truly great Indiana Jones-inspired game since basically Naughty Dog's Uncharted did the whole Indiana Jones thing without Indiana Jones. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like it has a great blend of action, stealth, puzzle solving. It even has like some side quests and larger hub world areas that like you can like freely explore, like Vatican City and stuff. So it seems really neat. Can't wait to check it out. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment. All right. You want to talk about what?
Why'd you put it like that?
What would you like to talk about?
I figured that we should probably talk a little bit about The Last of Us Season 2 premiere because I don't know about you, but I definitely watched it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to this season. I'm wondering how HBO is going to handle this.
Yeah. Should we do a little bit of a spoiler warning?
Are we officially going to go into spoilers?
Well, we're going to get into it.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it then. A spoiler warning for you.
It's a spoiler! Woo! It's a spoiler! Don't listen! Go away!
All right, so officially spoiler here. I think we're just going to delve into Last of Us. I'm sorry, we're going to talk about the chicken jockey, but I think that needs to be cut. We're running over.
We're running over, so.
Sorry, just if you see Minecraft, don't do the chicken jockey thing. It's stupid. That
we can bring it back in odd news.
It's stupid. Don't do it.
It's dumb. Don't do it.
All right, so
anyway,
Last of Us.
Last of Us is way more important than the chicken jockey.
Yes.
Season 2 premiered, and I think that just like Season 1, it is such a fantastic adaptation of the game. I thought that it nailed a lot of those opening moments, perfectly. A lot of the scenes were even like stolen right out of the game. Like I'm thinking like the dance scene.
The dance scene is almost shot for shot.
Shot for shot. And, for fans of the game, that, that's always a lot of fun to see it come to life so faithfully. These really important pivotal scenes. But I want to talk about some of the changes. This is why we played the spoiler thing, because there's really no way around it. I mean, they open up pretty much with Abby, and she's like, I'm going to go kill Joel.
Do you not like that? I did see some backlash on that.
Well, here's the thing. I actually don't mind that at all. But I wanted to get your opinion on it because as players of the game, I'm sure you remember there was a lot of unrest in the community when the discovery of Joel's, murder was made public knowledge. So for that reason, I think I like the fact that they did it early.
Yeah.
They're not trying to pull the rug out from people's feet.
Yeah.
They're TV audiences. TV audiences are much different than game audiences.
Yes. And this is something that needs to be recognized is that the TV adaptation has to be slightly presented differently.
Yes.
Than the video game presentation would be.
Right.
Abby is going to be half of whatever the rest of The Last of Us is on HBO.
Right.
So you need to introduce her as soon as possible.
Right.
In terms of like TV logic.
Yes.
You can't delay her introduction if she's going to be just as important and act as a foil to Ellie.
And the other thing to keep it...
I thought that was fine. That was totally fine.
I appreciated it because if everyone remembers from playing the game, if you've played it, the game starts with you in control of Abby, right? Early on. One of the early segments. I think it was pretty early on. And we don't know who this person is.
Right.
But in a TV adaptation, TV is a passive form of entertainment. We don't get that opportunity to explore as Abby. We don't get to play as Abby. We don't get to develop that closeness with her by playing with her towards her objectives. So it would have been really, I think, awkwardly paced and ham-fisted if she just shows up and bludgeons Joel at the end of like episode 2 or beginning of episode 3.
Yeah.
Like fans would have been furious.
Yeah.
It would have been awful.
Even to go back to Walking Dead, even Negan had a little bit of an introduction when everybody was saying, you know, I am Negan,
Right.
we are Negan. Like, at least, like, you can't just, I think everyone just remembers Negan taking out the 2
Glenn,
crew members.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, even though that was the first visual we saw of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that's not the first presence of Negan, if you will.
His presence was definitely felt, you know, in the build up to that. I think that was actually the best season of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we feel Abby's presence early on. I also think
and also it acts as like that ticking time bomb. You know that at some point that's going to go off.
Yes. And I think for TV adaptation, you need some kind of dramatic question and ticking time bomb for tension. Because in the video game, you're playing as Abby, and the game is making you wonder, okay, how does this person fit in? But remember, you're playing hours as these characters, potentially, right? In TV world, you only get, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours to understand their role in the world. So it makes sense to bring that forward to the beginning and set the question. Now TV viewers are like, oh my God, is she actually going to do it? You know, is Joel going to be prepared? Does he know somebody's hunting him? It gives them something to wrestle with as they're going into episode 2 and episode 3.
Yeah. Did you ever take like an actual film class?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know if you had the same thing, but I remember one of the most basic exercises is an example where you have 2 characters and they're sitting down at a table. They're probably eating a meal or something. And in one instance, a bomb goes off underneath the table. Boom, shocky. So that's like shock, awe, like,
right.
Oh my God, what just happened? Everybody is like, huh? What? Like, oh, is this going to get explained? I don't know. It leaves that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
But then the other take is the same thing, same premise, but right before the bomb goes off, there's like a 10-second cut of like the camera panning up, and you see the dynamite underneath the table and the tick, 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 tick. And that's a different reaction because now the audience is now clued in to how dangerous the situation is, and then it's more suspense. Then it's more, ooh, when is it going to happen? Oh, it's essentially when you think about it, it's the exact same thing happening.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how just adding that 10 seconds of like adding the clock or adding that previous information makes it a whole different experience, a whole different tone that the audience feels.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference with introducing Abby in this first episode very early on and letting you know that, hey, she's this, you know, she's this executioner that's coming, and the time will run out at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, everything you said is 100% correct. It increases the stakes, increases the tension, presents you with an immediate dramatic question that needs to be answered, right? Will Joel survive? How does he survive? Does he know he's being hunted? What threat does this pose to Joel and Ellie? And on the flip side of that, because we're going to eventually follow Abby, I think it gives us a little bit more time to like digest what's about to happen. Because when it does happen, in the game, it was so shocking and so sudden. I feel like a lot of people immediately were like, she's dead to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think they left a door for exploring Abby. And then they were forced to, and then people got annoyed.
Yeah.
But I think with this, we open up with the scene of them looking at all the crosses, right, of all the people they had just buried. And she says right from the beginning, I'm going to kill him. And it makes us reflect on the primary question of The Last of Us, or what I think is the primary question of The Last of Us, is that, is Joel actually a good guy? Which I have always said since 2013, no. and I will stand by that. Joel is not a good guy. People will fight me on that. They would be wrong because he's just not. He lies. He murders. He is the protagonist in our story, but in everybody else's story, he's a crazed lunatic who's slaughtering entire settlements of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, the scene from season 1 or the first game where they get ambushed, he says to Ellie, I've been on both sides of those. A good guy isn't on the ambushing side of an ambush of civilians.
Yeah, there's not usually a good side to that.
Like, oh, yeah, I've ambushed people and stolen their stuff. That's not a good guy thing. He's a good guy because we follow him, but he's not a good guy because of his actions. So
in terms of morality.
Right. And so this, I think, is going to help kick that door open earlier so that people will be able to work with Abby going forward. I think that if they had just had her bludgeon Joel like in the game, I think a lot of people will be super pissed and immediately shut that door.
Yeah. So, it's going to be
I love talking about The Last of Us.
It's going to be interesting to see how this fully plays out.
Yeah.
And
I got a big question for you, though. When's it happening?
I think it's going to be like Logan Roy on Succession season 4. I think it's going to happen like after the second episode.
Yeah. So you think maybe start of episode 3?
Yeah. That's to me, that would be perfect Succession trajectory.
I think it would be great if, it seems like episode 2 is going to be the whole horde thing, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like in traditional TV, the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The natural desires to put at the end of an episode as a cliffhanger, but I think it would actually be better at the beginning of an episode.
Yeah.
And force the viewers to sit with it like Succession for an entire episode.
Yep.
Because going back to the screenwriting classes, you have to let people be uncomfortable sometimes.
Yep.
Because that is what brings out the best emotions in the writing.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'm super pumped. I already think it's fantastic.
Yep. We'll see how the course of the season goes, and we'll give you more discussions about it if we feel that it's
those big
relevant.
moments. We'll have to talk the big moments.
Yep. All right, but for right now, we got to leave entertainment and head to our third and final portion of the show, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
We're actually staying within Pennsylvania.
Oh, no.
Yep. This is in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
The pretzels.
Yeah, that's right.
Snyder's of Hanover.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep. This is right outside of Harrisburg, outside of Gettysburg, if I remember correctly.
I'll find out for you in about 3 seconds.
You have 3 seconds. 3.
It's
2,
near
1. No,
damn, I can't actually tell.
I think it's outside of Gettysburg, if I remember correctly.
I think Gettysburg is probably the closest, relevant town.
Yep. Well, here in Pennsylvania, this actually might, if we have listeners from other states, this might make them laugh. But it's been relatively recent that you can now get beer and various alcohol at gas stations. That wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Wait,
at gas stations?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Do they allow gas stations now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh wow, it was a big thing when grocery stores started doing it. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
But now some Wawas you can get.
Really?
Yeah, you can get beer.
Wow.
That also includes some Royal Farms as well.
Okay, fantastic. Have you ever had their chicken?
Yes.
Is it good?
It's all right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've never had it, but that's like their thing. It's like, come get our fried chicken.
It's one of those things that, like, it's basically what I say about Wawa meatballs. It's like, for it being Wawa meatball.
Whoa. Wawa meatballs are delicious.
They're good.
What are you talking about?
But, like, don't expect, like, Italian cuisine out of this.
No, it's not as good as Olive Garden, of course.
Yeah. Oh, boy. What a bar. But it's
but
like,
for gas station fried chicken,
right?
Okay,
it'll do.
Fair enough.
It's not the best. Honestly, I'd rather have Wawa. That's probably my bias.
There's more options at Wawa.
Yeah,
oh, man, I haven't had a good Wawa in a while.
I just had their dill pickle chicken sandwich. It was pretty good.
Wait, what? Dill pickle chicken sandwich?
Yeah, they have.
What is that? Just chicken and a ton of pickles?
Yeah, and a dill pickle ranch dressing sauce that's on it. It's really good.
That sounds really good.
And boy, that was good at like 3 a.m. on Friday night. It was really good.
Oh man, don't tempt me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry,
this is Royal Farms, not Wawa.
Right.
And we're going to follow the case of 50-year-old Crystal Gauss.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
Yeah, she is. Boy, what a way to act at 50 here. Because according to Pennsylvania state cops, in Hanover at a Royal Farms, this lady decided to go into the walk-in cooler where they have the beer that's new and decided to sit down and relieve herself, according to cops.
I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50. 50 years old.
Well, I don't know. She might have.
Oh man,
she's having some issues if she thinks that's the bathroom.
Not good.
Yep. According to the police report, she went number 1 and number 2 in the beer cave area.
Oh man.
The beer cave is described
not number 2.
Yeah. The beer cave is described as the walk-in cooler that is open to the public for select cooled beverages. All the doors into the beer cave and cooled areas are clear glass, which provides visuals from inside the common area.
Why did it go into that much detail?
I mean, I guess some walk-in coolers are like sectioned off. So maybe you could have thought it was the bathroom, but then why would you just go on the floor?
No. Why would you think it's the bathroom? Aren't there stacks of drinks everywhere?
It's really cold in here.
Oh, this is a really weird bathroom. There's so many free drinks for me to have while I'm relieving myself. Like, no, that's not how it works.
And it's freezing cold in here.
It's so cold in here.
I just got to go right now.
The cold makes you go.
Yeah.
That's what it was an accident. She goes in to get some booze, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh no, I'm cold. The cold makes me go," and she just.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
I don't think there's any world in which she thought the walk-in freezer cooler was a bathroom. It very clearly does not look like. How about, crazy thought, the absence of toilets? How many bathrooms do you walk into? Oh, that's weird. There's not a single toilet in here.
I guess you just go on the floor.
I guess I'll just crap on the floor then.
Yeah.
Find myself a nice corner, cozy up, and just let her rip. No.
I really like the way those Bud Lights look. I think I'll take a look at them while I do my business.
open floor plan office, but not open floor plan bathroom. Come on.
Oh, that's supposed to be a new thing that they're doing here.
These damn millennials.
Yeah.
So she's relieving herself next to the Bud Light.
Yep. And unfortunately for her, the cops have her hook, line, and sinker because there were cameras that recorded the whole act.
That
so
makes sense.
They have her dead to rights. There is no... She can't run away from this one. This is all her.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You know, and Royal Farms probably has a bathroom, too.
Yes!
They most certainly have a bathroom.
Yeah, I would imagine. Like the only gas stations with food that don't have a bathroom are like the old Wawas, the tiny Wawas.
Right.
Like they all pretty much have some sort of bathroom.
I think most modern buildings are required to have them.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. So it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. She clearly just was either on something or had a vendetta against Bud Light or Royal Farms. I don't know.
Bud Light.
So did she do it on the floor or on like a case of something? Like what? Like she just like squatted in the middle and just let it rip.
I believe so.
They went into so much detail about the door, but no detail about the actual crime.
She, according to the police report, the camera shows the suspect, quote, pushing a case of alcoholic beverages as she pulls her pants down and relieves herself on the floor.
She's pushing.
So I guess she's like,
oh, she's
using
like
it to
bracing.
brace.
Oh, okay.
What an odd bathroom.
This is the craziest bathroom I've ever been to. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. She just
really had to go. I don't know.
Yeah, she really did. So yeah, this is 47-year-old this is 47-year-old Crystal Gal. She's almost 50. If you can round up to 50.
I'm 50. 50 years old.
Cops confirmed her with her driver's license photo. So that matched her. And guess what, folks? She is a school administrator.
Oh.
So, yeah, she might be teaching your kids. Boy, does that instill confidence in the education system?
I'll tell you what, she is done, is what she is. You can't do that and be a teacher. That's not okay.
School administrator.
Fancy. Very fancy.
Yeah. All right, she's going to be charged with, this is interesting, open lewdness. I guess, that's Pennsylvania specific?
Is there a closed lewdness?
Yeah, right?
Closed?
That's what you, yeah, I don't know. What?
Wouldn't it just be the classic lewd and lascivious behavior?
Yeah, well,
I guess that's more sexual in nature.
Well, Pennsylvania, we do open lewdness. That's us here.
Okay.
She also got criminal mischief, disorderly conduct that created a hazardous and physically offensive condition. Wow.
That's pretty specific.
That is a very long charge. Can't we shorten that a little bit?
What was it? Behavior that caused
disorderly conduct that created a hazardous and physically offensive condition.
Wow.
That's a separate charge.
I have never heard of that one.
What is happening here in Pennsylvania? Can we
I
shorten
don't know. Yeah. Just call it crapping in public.
Yeah.
One charge of crapping in public. It pretty much sums it up.
One charge of going number 2.
One charge of 2 and 2 charges of 1.
Yeah. And Gauss never said why did she do this. She never admitted.
Because she got caught dead to rights. I mean, what's she gonna say?
I don't know. Did you really have to go? Did you think that was the bathroom? Do you hate Bud Light? Do you hate Royal Farms? Like what?
Every excuse is just gonna be wrong. So she just gave up. She's like, yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Is she just giving up? She's just gonna. That's it. Just plead no contest.
It doesn't say what her plans are. According to Royal Farms, the The waste.
Oh.
Unfortunately, did contaminate around $80 worth of beer, so that had to be thrown out. So I'm sure she will
That's not too much beer.
No, but I'm sure she's gonna have to pay for that as well.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. And she's more than just a school administrator. She is listed as the director of food and nutrition for the local school district in the area.
The director of food.
Yes.
And she crapped in a place that makes food. Actually, she damaged some beverages as well.
Yes.
That's funny. I like that.
Yep. So there you go. I don't know what reason she had.
She goes, I just got so confused. I thought this was the bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Don't
know.
all bathrooms have Bud Light and are like sub-freezing or whatever?
Yeah. I walked in and boom. Had to go.
Just had to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's like bookstores.
Put that hand up. Oh God.
You ever see that thing online where where people say you walk into a bookstore and you immediately you feel like you have to go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Is that what this is?
Maybe.
It's like bookstores, but for beverages.
Did you know that that's actually like an animal instinct? Did you hear about that?
What, we walk into bookstores because our ancient ancestors had to go to the bathroom in bookstores?
Not like that, but like it apparently like the ambiance of a bookstore is designed to be really calming and soothing.
So you're like, oh, I can poop in here.
Yes. No. Basically, when your mind interprets a situation that it's calm and soothing, it sends a signal to your digestive system. I can go to the bathroom.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. The more you know, you're on the
more you
Noodle
know.
podcast. I don't know, but see, here's the thing. I don't know how a beer cave does that to her.
It's calming. She's around Bud Light and she's cold.
Bud Light just
makes me, just relaxes me.
All that Bud Light just I feel better with the world.
It's really the only place she can go.
I feel better.
You should see her bathroom at home. Just floor to ceiling Bud Light. It's the only place she feels truly comfortable.
She has to hold it. She had to hold it.
That's
Remember?
right.
She
had
had
to be in
hold
physical contact with it. Oh, thank you, Bud Light.
I have to have contact.
Tell me that's not an ad right there. Bud Light, so smooth, so soothing.
You crap your pants.
Just makes it come right out.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know why she did this, but maybe that's the best reason we can come up with.
I don't know.
The
It's her version of a bookstore poop.
The walk-in beer cave made her feel completely relaxed, and she just had to go. That's what I guess that's the best we can come up with here as lawyers if we were trying to defend her.
That's the only thing we could come up with.
Yeah, because nothing else makes sense.
No.
That's a rough case if she's going to actually try and fight it, but
we will see.
I imagine if I was her lawyer, I would definitely just plead guilty. That you're not going to get out of this. They have you on camera.
Yeah, she's done. She's done.
You done. You done goofed. Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, she done goofed, and we done finished here on the Crispy Noodle podcast. Yeah, it's been a good podcast, but it's time for it to come to an end. An interesting week wrapped up in the books.
Yep, another one in the books.
Yep. And if you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Make sure the website's called thecrispynoodle.com. Our name is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Got it mixed up. Oh man, it's the end of the night.
It's getting late.
I need to feel more relaxed. I have to use the bathroom. I'm sorry.
But grab a Bud Light before you go.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to need one.
That's right.
All right. Let me refresh. Go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Follow us on social media. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get our episodes sent to you every week. Two main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Search Crispy Noodle Podcast on YouTube. Find us there and hit that subscribe button so that you get the podcast sent to you when it comes out. A fresh episode every week. Second main way to do it is on Spotify. Go to Spotify, search the Crispy Noodle Podcast, and find us there. But also, if you use Spotify, you can put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast, and therefore use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay and take us on the go with you. So, again, Android Auto, I can put this on my phone, and boom, bam, I can listen to us on the go. Woo, Android.
Okay. Woo, Apple.
Yeah, where's your app? Where's your phone?
Right here.
There you go. Now you do it.
Apple, yeah.
Woo, there you go. So
Apple CarPlay.
There you go. You can take us with you on the go with that. If you want to get into contact with us individually, we are on Blue Sky. I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig.
And I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo. So make sure you send us your sports, entertainment, or odd news. We'll be sure to feature it on the podcast.
That's right. But for now, we got to wrap it up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.